tonight on the Night Beat, worried about their water.
You drink. Would any one of you drink from either one of these bottles, not knowing which was which?
The tense, emotional meeting over unsafe water levels in Gerald.
If you basically value the American dream of prosperity, you should be appalled by SB 4.
Plus, the fight over Senate Bill 4 continues. What city leaders are doing now to stop the law.
And how an Austin woman with Alzheimer's is using her talent to bring joy to others. The Night Beat starts now.
People living in a Gerald community outraged over high levels of fluoride in their drinking water.
Tonight, utility managers facing the public for the first time since a state report brought the issue to light. The Night Beat's Jason Puckett was there.
A very tense meeting here tonight as residents of the nearby Sonterra community filling the regular board meeting of the utility group here tonight to express their fears, concerns, and hopes moving forward. Now, the EPA sets a legal limit of 4 milligrams per liter of fluoride, and in the past year, that number has been crossed here in Sonterra. The problem, though, is harder to pinpoint because until recently, the fluoride wasn't measured daily. Tonight, the first time now, residents have been able to speak to the mud and air their concerns.
Tom, I know you live here in this neighborhood, correct? What other board member lives in this neighborhood?
Once the well went offline, that was within the limits, and you guys knew that the well that's offline now at 4.7 was way over the limit, you would decide to put our health at risk and put that back on into our water system.
We need to move forward as a community, but you need to hold yourselves accountable.
We can speak for our community that we're not receiving the letters.
I have 2 bottles of water right here. One filled with the water from my faucet that you provide to us, one filled from across the highway with potable water. Do you trust me with your health? Do you trust me? And would you drink, would any one of you drink from either one of these bottles, not knowing which was which?
Now, before the meeting, we got a chance to speak with the MUD manager, Andrew Bilger. He did confirm the residents' fear, saying they had crossed the levels, but that it was rare, and says right now they are within the EPA levels.
We are 100% within compliance, and we've done everything that the state requires, and we've gone beyond that in our future planning.
That planning includes 2 additional wells and an upcoming source of water from a surface source that won't have any fluoride in the future years. Bilger telling us right now they're acknowledging their main mistake was lack of communication.
Again, I think the lesson for us is if you're working hard but not communicating, it's not happening. In the end, we can't go backwards, but moving into the future, we think we're much better prepared, and we stand behind our water source here in Sonterra.
For many residents here tonight, that wasn't enough. They're asking the board for a special session to continue this conversation, and many say they will continue buying bottled water until they are 100% certain the water here is safe to drink. For now in Gerald, I'm Jason Puckett, KVUE News, Night Beat.
Happening right now, a tense discussion at the Austin School Board meeting. The board is expected to vote on 3 major financial decisions tonight. They've already approved the district's $1.46 billion budget and the sale of 2 districts' surplus properties. The vote on the $1 billion bond package has been pushed back until next week.
The fight to stop Senate Bill 4 continues tonight. The law, which would allow police to question the immigration status of anybody they detain, goes into effect September 1st, but not if some Austin City leaders have their way. The Night Beat's Brandon Jones joins us now with plans to head to federal court. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Mike. Well, we learned tonight that the U.S. Department of Justice may join in the SB 4 lawsuit. No pleadings have been filed, but given President Trump's stand on immigration, Mayor Adler believes the DOJ will argue in favor of SB 4. So here's where things stand tonight. 3 city officials, Mayor Steve Adler and City Council member Greg Kassar and Delia Garza, filed briefs with the federal court arguing the law would hurt residents and make the city less safe. All 3 believe by forcing law enforcement to mandate detainers from immigration and customs enforcement, the state has created a power that the Constitution provides only to the federal government.
That Texas is on the national stage. SB 4 is clearly the model for carrying out the mass deportation regime of Trump's White House.
If you value family values, if you value hard work, if you value people that risk everything to better the lives of themselves and their families, if you basically value the American dream of prosperity, you should be appalled by SB 4.
Now, those in favor of SB 4 say the bill does not target or discriminate against illegal immigrants. In fact, this bill has no effect on illegal immigrants if they have not committed a crime or hanging out with one that has. Right now, Austin is joining San Antonio in the lawsuit, and a federal judge will hear the case on June 26th in San Antonio. Quita.
Thank you, Brandon. Texas Congressman Roger Williams back in Austin today on crutches, still healing from when a lone gunman opened fire on a group of Republican congressmen and their aides last week during baseball practice. Williams injured his leg diving into a dugout to escape bullets. 5 people, including Williams' aide Zach Barth, who went to UT Austin, were shot. Williams says the brave actions of 2 Capitol Police officers saved all their lives, and he hopes this shooting will spark changes around Washington.
As politicians, as people that represent people, we need to sell our positions, not downgrade the opposition. We need to be able to dial the rhetoric back to where people can agree to disagree and do it in the right way.
Police killed the gunman, 66-year-old James Hodkinson, who had posted negative comments on social media about President Trump prior to the shooting. The congressman shot during last week's baseball practice continues to recover tonight. Doctors say House Majority Whip Steve Scalise is doing better. His condition upgraded from critical to serious. The Louisiana congressman was shot in the hip and suffered massive blood loss.
A sad end to this story. The American student held captive by North Korea has died. 22-year-old Otto Warmbier arrived in the U.S. less than a week ago. He was carried off of a plane suffering from extensive brain damage after more than a year in a coma. Doctors determined he had a condition described as unresponsive wakefulness. He was held captive and sentenced to 15 years hard labor for allegedly stealing a propaganda poster.
Back here in Austin, police are investigating a disturbing case. Police say 5 female victims went to an apartment complex in Northeast Austin Friday night to pick up drugs and were zip-tied, raped, and robbed. One of the victims was able to get away and called 911. 2 of the men accused of the crime are in jail tonight, and police have warrants out for a 3rd suspect. In total, there are 4 suspects involved in this case, and the 4th person has not been identified.
The death of a Travis County inmate is under investigation. 21-year-old Herman Titus was taken to a hospital this morning in critical condition. He died shortly after. Evidence collected so far does not suggest foul play, but because of the recent passage of the Sandra Bland Act, the Texas Rangers will conduct an independent investigation. Titus was booked into the jail in May, charged with intoxication, assault, and a parole violation. A puppy rescued from a hot car over the weekend is doing well tonight, but animal advocates say this highlights a problem that happens quite a bit. This is footage showing officers with the Manor Police working to pry open the sunroof to get the 10-week-old German Shepherd mix out of the hot car. Her name is Annabelle. Authorities think she may have been inside the car in a Walmart parking lot for 30 minutes. The good news, she's at the Austin Animal Center where she's playing and eating and seems to be fine. The bad news, APD says this kind of thing happens too much.
You know, I'm not sure what people are thinking. Maybe they're thinking that they're just going into a location and they're just going to be in there a minute.
The dog's owner, 20-year-old Chandler Bullen, was arrested. He faces a misdemeanor charge. Authorities say his reason, he didn't want to waste gas by leaving the car running.
From Driftwood to Page back to Pflugerville, many of you writing in tonight on our Twitter page saying you see lightning in the eastern southeastern sky. So Max Storm Doppler radar and a quiet scan. So what gives? Well, you're looking at thunderstorm activity that is 90 to 108 miles to our east-southeast between El Campo and Edna. Pretty electric, small thunderstorm, but pretty cool that you can see that far away. Of course, the big story is the tropics. Brett moving into the Caribbean, a developing system in the Gulf. The latest on what could become Tropical Storm Cindy in the next 24 hours, that's coming up.
We'll see you in a few minutes, Albert. Well, it's one woman's way of keeping Alzheimer's at bay.
The hobby she's using to help herself and bring joy to others.
And you think it's hot in Central Texas? There's one place that really has us beat when it comes to heat.